today we're going to be talking about mythology. Mythology, yes. And I'm going to show you a tale. Well, actually tell you a tale about a man named Narcissus.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful lad whose name was Narcissus. His beauty was so great, all the girls who saw him longed to be his, but he would have none of them. He would pass the loveliest and carelessly by, no matter how much she tried to make him look at her. Heartbroken maidens were nothing to him. Even the sad case of the fairest of the nymphs, Echo, did not move him. She was a favorite of Artemis, the goddess of woods and wild creatures, but she came under the displeasure of still mightier goddess, Hera herself, who was at her usual occupation of trying to discover what Zeus was about. She suspected that he was in love with one of the nymphs, and she went to look them over to try to discover which. However, she was immediately diverted from her investigation by Echo's gay chatter. The goddess condemned her, never to use her tongue again, except to repeat what was said to her.
You will always have the last word.
No, but no power to speak first.
This was very hard, but hardest of all when Echo, too, with all the lovelorn maidens, loved Narcissus. She could follow him, but she could not speak to him. How then could she make a youth who never looked at a girl pay attention to her? One day, however, it seemed chance had come. He was calling on to his companions.
Is anybody here?
And she called back. She was still hidden by the trees so that he did not see her, and he shouted,
Come!
Just what she longed to say to him. She answered joyfully,
Come!
And set forth from the woods with her arms outstretched. But he turned away in angry disgust.
Not so!
He said,
I will die before I give you power over me.
All she could say was humbly,
Give you power over me.
but he was gone. She hid her blushes and her shame in a lonely cave, and could never be comforted. She lives in places like that, and they say she is so wasted away with longing that only her voice now is left to her.
So Narcissus went on a cruel way, scorn of love. But at last, one of those he wounded prayed a prayer, and it was answered by the gods. May he who loves not others love himself.
The great goddess, Nemesis, which means righteous anger, undertook to bring about this. As Narcissus bent over a clear pool for a drink, and saw there his own reflection, on the moment he fell in love with it.
Now I know what others have suffered. I'm so beautiful. So beautiful.
And so it happened. He pined away, leaning perpetually over the pool, fixed in one long gaze. They say that when his spirit crossed the river that encircles the world of the dead, it leaned over the boat to catch a final glimpse of itself in the water. The nymphs he had scorned were kind to him in death, and sought his body to give burial, but they could not find it. Where it had lain there was blooming a new and lovely flower, and they called it Narcissus.